Hi there, it's Tom Cassidy. I've got Kieran Doherty, fresh from his assignment for Oxfam as part of the South Sudan appeal. And he's talking about the body of work that he recorded when he was out there, the images and the story behind the images. So, Kieran, what's this one all about?
This is a family portrait of the mother in the middle is called Elizabeth, and we were in Minkerman at the time, and a lot of refugees were coming in across the Nile from Bor, and they were settling in Minkerman onto one of the sprawling refugee camps there. And this lady had a pretty unbelievable story. You'll probably notice the two children on the right-hand side are extremely listless.
Yeah.
And that's purely through lack of food. The young girl, sort of second from the right, could hardly keep her eyes open. The eldest child on the right-hand side, he is the one that suffers the most because any food that they do get always goes to the younger kids.
Right.
So he was extremely hungry. And they'd literally just come over on the boat from Bor. And you can see that Elizabeth is holding a very small child there. And that child's name, she named it Swampy. And the reason she named it Swampy was because when they were attacked in their village, they fled. The whole family fled, and she ended up going into the reeds on the Nile and hiding. And they were there for an awful long time, maybe 24 hours, hiding in these reeds from what was absolute certain death. And while she was there, she gave birth.
No way.
And her husband acted as a midwife and helped her give birth, and eventually when the coast was clear, they sort of managed to get on the boat and come over to Minkerman, but her husband had to go back and he was subsequently killed. So she was in Bor, she'd arrived in Minkerman with her 5 children, very little food, nowhere to stay, and this image was shot inside of one of those blue UN tents that they sort of set up. It wasn't even where she was able to stay. She was staying in a much smaller tent next door, but incredibly sad story of a young family on the run.
But there's still, as you said, there's still hope, isn't there, with that whole idea of being able to give birth and looking at that little kid. He looks probably in the best spirits of all of them, doesn't he?
Absolutely incredible. So happy. I mean, I have other portraits of them, of Elizabeth and Swampy, and he was just one of the happiest babies I've seen. So we're looking at a woman that has nothing but complete and utter love for her children, and is just basically trying to do the best she can for them.
Isn't that fantastic? Okay, well, thanks very much. Again, the story behind really makes the difference, so thanks for the story behind that image. And that's the image of Elizabeth and her 5 children. So thanks very much, Kieran.